The scream echoed through Hangar Bay 7 like a plasma bolt through vacuum. They broke my toy and hurt my dragon mom. Lieutenant Kale was halfway through his pre-flight checklist when the child's voice pierced the usual mechanical hum of the starbase. His hands froze over the console. That wasn't just any cry, that was Ari, the little hybrid girl who'd become the unofficial mascot of the third fighter. Wing every pilot in the hangar bay stopped what they were doing. Kale dropped his data pad and sprinted toward the maintenance sector, his boots hammering against the deck plating. Behind him, he heard the thunder of 24 other pairs of boots following. Nobody touched Ari. Nobody hurt Dr. Sarah Vin. And if someone had done both, then whoever was responsible had just made the worst mistake of their very short remaining life. He rounded the corner to find a scene that made his blood freeze, then immediately boil. Ari sat on the deck, her small frame shaking with sobs, her dual nature evident in the shimmer of scales that ran along her arms when she was emotional. Her precious toy, a handmade starfighter carved from Terran oak by her late father, lay in pieces around her. But that wasn't what made Kale's jaw clench until his teeth ached. Dr. Sarah Vin, the towering dragonborn engineer who'd adopted Ari after the colony raids, was on her knees. Her elegant reptilian features were twisted in pain, one wing bent at an unnatural angle, blood seeping from a gash across her snout. 3 Calroxian enforcers stood over her, their carapaces gleaming under the hangar lights, pulse batons still crackling with residual energy. The child was in a restricted area. The lead Calroxian clicked, its translator rendering the words in flat, emotionless standard. The Guardian became aggressive when we disciplined her. Both were subdued according to protocol. Protocol. The word hung in the air like poison. Kale felt the presence of his squadron gathering behind him. Ramirez, Chen, Okoye, Santos, and the rest. The Calroxians had arrived 3 weeks ago, as part of some diplomatic security exchange program. They'd been nothing but trouble since day one, treating everyone like suspects, throwing their weight around like they owned the place. They'd finally crossed the line. According to protocol, Kale said slowly, his voice deadly calm, visitors to this installation are required to follow our regulations, and our regulations say you don't touch a child, you don't hurt a civilian, and you sure as hell don't assault a member of our engineering crew. The lead Calroxian's mandibles twitched in what might have been amusement, human sentiment. Your attachment to weakness is why your species remains. Finish that sentence, Ramirez growled from behind Kale, and you'll learn exactly how weak we are. Dr. Vin raised her head, her golden eyes finding Kale's. Please, she managed through the pain, her voice still carrying that melodic quality despite everything. Just get Ari somewhere safe, but Ari wasn't going anywhere. The little girl stood up, her hybrid nature fully manifesting in her distress. Scales spreading across her skin, small horns just visible through her dark hair, her eyes glowing with an inner fire that came from her dragonborn heritage. She pointed one trembling finger at the Calroxians. You're mean, she shouted. You're really, really mean. And you broke what my daddy made me before the bad people killed him. Something shifted in the hangar. Every human present felt it. That particular frequency of rage that their species was uniquely capable of achieving. Humans could forgive a lot. They could negotiate, compromise, even befriend former enemies. But harm a child? Hurt someone protecting that child? Destroy the last memory of a fallen father? The Calroxians had just discovered why humanity's old battle cry was feared across a dozen sectors. Commander Thrace's voice crackled over the comm. All personnel, stand down. Security is en route to... With respect, Commander, Kale interrupted, not taking his eyes off the enforcers. Security can document what happens next. But these 3 are leaving our hangar, now. The lead Calroxian raised its baton. You dare threaten, it didn't get to finish. Chen was the first to move, her combat training kicking in as she swept the Calroxian's legs. Okoye disarmed the second before it could react. The third managed to swing its baton, but Santos caught it mid-arc, yanked it away, and used it to sweep the alien's feet out from under it. 30 seconds. That's all it took. The 3 Calroxians found themselves on their backs, surrounded by 24 very angry human pilots who had just made it clear that protocols meant nothing when family was threatened. And that's what Ari and Dr. Vin were. Family. Kale crouched down to Ari's level. Hey, little Spark. You okay? She threw her arms around his neck, still crying. They broke it. They broke Daddy's ship. I know, sweetheart. I know. He looked up at Dr. Vin, who was being helped to her feet by Ramirez. Get medical up here, now. Dr. Vin shook her head despite her injuries. Ari first. Always Ari first. Dragon Mom needs help. Ari protested. And she'll get it, Kale assured her. But you know what? I think every pilot in this hangar owes you a new toy. Maybe not Oak from Terra, but we've got some pretty good craftspeople here. He glanced at Santos. Didn't you do woodworking? Santos nodded, already understanding. I'll make you something special, Pequeña. Something nobody can break. Commander Thrace arrived with security, taking in the scene the subdued Calroxians, the injured Dragonborn, the crying child, and the wall of protective pilots surrounding them both. Report, she demanded. Kale stood, still holding Ari. The Calroxian enforcers assaulted a child and a civilian engineer. We responded appropriately. Thrace looked at the 3 aliens on the deck, then at her pilots, then at little Ari with her tear-streaked face and glowing eyes. Her expression hardened. Get Dr. Vin to medical. Get Ari to the pediatric unit for observation. As for our guests, she turned to the Calroxians, her voice ice. Your diplomatic immunity has just been revoked. You're confined to quarters pending deportation, and you should pray to whatever gods you have that the Dragonborn Concordat doesn't hear about this before you're off my station. As medical arrived and began treating Dr. Vin, Ari clung to her adopted mother's hand. The Dragonborn engineer wrapped her good wing around the child, ignoring her own pain. I've got you, little flame, she whispered. Always. Kale watched them go, surrounded by an honor guard of pilots. He looked down at the pieces of the toy starfighter scattered across the deck, then at his squadron. Santos, you're on crafting duty. Chen Ramirez, make sure medical has everything they need. Okoye, you're with me. We're filing a formal complaint with the Galactic Council. About the assault? Okoye asked. About everything. It's time the galaxy remembered something important. Kale's expression was grim. Humans don't forget. And we never forgive those who hurt our children. In Hangar Bay 7, the message was clear. They'd broken a toy and hurt a dragon mom. They'd made a little girl cry. And now they would learn what humanity had been teaching the universe for generations. You don't mess with our family.